Welcome back to Mostly Thriving.
Where to the world it may look like we're thriving, but really we're just mostly thriving.
So we were off last week because we were in Florida for spring break.
Florida.
And we thought that we would just recap our trip, give you some recommendations, things we liked, things we didn't like, and chat through our Anna Maria Island experience.
AMI is what they call it.
That is what they call it.
I do believe.
You know what is funny that I just thought of? There was a road sign that said, it'll be like, this city, and then it has like a number of like how many miles away it is.
Oh, yes.
There was like 3 listed, and one said Anna Maria, and then it said IS, and then it said 5. And I was like, that's so weird. It says Anna Maria is 5. I was like, I've never seen that on a sign before. Why does the other one say like Bradenton, whatever, 7? And then I was like, oh.
No, I put that out there specifically for you.
IS is island.
I said, put this sign out there for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we stayed just off the island, which for those of you who don't know, during this time of the year there, if you're just off the island, you might as well be in Georgia.
Yeah, that was one thing that we were not anticipating. So originally for spring break, this is like side note, we were going somewhere else and we were staying at like a family place, and then that ended up not being able to happen for this trip. So we had to quickly shift our spring break plans, which I actually think we talked about on the podcast. You guys remember when I was like, TJ, where are we going? And
for the record, I had a great thing planned.
Yeah. So
and it didn't work out.
We ended up like there wasn't a ton of Airbnbs available for a week for spring break because everything was booked. And we just happened to find a place in Bradenton, which is like 4 or 5 miles off of Anna Maria Island, just over the bridge. Everything I've seen online of this place is like the most gorgeous, crystal clear blue waters, like Caribbean-esque looking beaches. And so we were excited to go. So we left on Friday. The boys did great.
Plane ride was good. I feel like we've turned a page. Well,
they've always been good.
AJ's pretty much always been good. But then when AJ got really good, Jordan not.
Yeah.
Now Jordan is officially decent.
Yeah. One thing that we have always done with our kids is 0 tablets at home. Like that was just, I know it's a slippery slope and I know how easy it is to like want to give them something, but
when we're out to eat, like occasionally we'll hand them our phone if dinner is really slow.
Yeah. It's like we use it very, very sparingly so that when they do get it, it feels extra special, but they never have tablets, which I'm not saying you're wrong if you choose that, but that's one thing that we had like a couple rules before we had kids that it was like, these are things we're not going to budge in, is that one, our kids do not sleep in our bed really ever. AJ maybe has 5 times in his whole life and he was like sick in the middle of the night and he came downstairs, but
sick, night terrors.
Yeah.
Really random occurrences.
We just never wanted that because I feel like once you start it, it's something that you can't go back on. Like once it becomes a thing, it's really hard to break. So I was like, I know so many people who struggle with that. And I also feel like it's important that you have just like privacy and alone time and whatever with your spouse. Like I think that is important and can bring you closer. And so I think co-sleeping and all of that stuff works for some people. For us, I don't think it would.
We also just prioritize you and I going to bed together.
Right.
Pretty much every night.
Yeah. And after the kids go to bed, like I'd be curious, parents that do co-sleep and stuff, like do you all go to bed at the same time? Like does your kid have a bedtime and they go to bed in your bed before you do? Like I literally don't know how this works.
Yeah.
Or maybe
I can't even imagine it, really.
Maybe it's just that their kids come downstairs and get in their bed in the night. Like I could see that happening.
Yeah, I remember when we were kids, if we were having a nightmare or something or woke up and couldn't sleep, go and get in my parents' bed. But that was really rare. Yeah. Occasionally we would sleep like on the floor at the foot of my parents' bed. Is that weird?
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
You can't come up here. Don't you even think about it.
But we didn't.
I know.
Uh-huh.
Make it a bad experience and they don't want to come back.
Honestly, I'd consider that before letting them get in our bed.
I mean, I don't remember really ever getting in bed with my parents. Maybe I did a couple times like that in an instance. I was really, really afraid of like thunderstorms and stuff. So maybe if that was happening, and I'm not we're not like shut our kids' doors and like see you in the morning. Like we're more likely to one of us go up and like lay in AJ's bed with him until he falls back asleep, or like we're not just like not comforting our children.
Right.
I want to make that
yeah,
clear.
it's not you're on your own, every man for himself for the next 10 hours.
Yeah, but I just don't want that. I'm also a really like hot sleeper. I just don't sleep good when my kids are, if they're kicking me. And
I would like to say that my sleep score for the last 3 nights has been very poor, and it's your fault.
That's not my fault.
It's your fault.
He has
it's
this
your
thing
fault. She has this thing where if she feels like I have the covers, she aggressively pulls them off me.
Sometimes I think our king size comforter is on the wrong way, and it's
Aren't
little
they
bit
square. Aren't king size beds a square?
They're not square. They're almost square, which is why it's challenging. But it basically, if you have it on wrong, then it sits right at the edge of the bed. But if you have it on right, then it folds over the edge. We both get a little extra.
I had no extra for the last 3 nights, and my sleep score has suffered terribly from it, and it's your fault. Also, Amanda, if you didn't know, this is a big debate.
What?
Sheets tucked in.
Oh, yeah.
Or not tucked in.
Absolutely not tucked in. No, it feels like I'm in a straitjacket. When I get in a hotel bed, literally the first thing I do is all the covers are coming untucked.
Psychopath. Literally a tornado goes off in our room because she goes and she rips the sheets out from under the bed. It's really aggressive, honestly.
I want to be able to go like this and wrap
the
sheets around my feet so that they're tucked up in. And I want to be able to put my foot out if I'm hot. Like I need options.
You act as if the sheets are a straitjacket.
That's how they feel.
There is an in between.
Okay, let me ask you this. If you were sleeping in bed by yourself and no one was there, would you have it tucked in on all 3 sides? Or
yes, ma'am.
So why don't you just get a sleeping bag?
No, not the same.
How is that not the same?
Not the same.
You want to know what's crazy? I actually saw a co-sleeping video the other day that came up on my Instagram. Instead of one comforter, they all had like sleep, like sacks. And everybody had their own blanket. Like the mom had her own little comforter cocoon. The kid had his own comforter cocoon. And then like the little baby, there was no blankets. And that's how it was like safe sleep. Because everybody that could have a blanket had their own. And they were in a sack.
Pass. I can't do that. Because especially if AJ comes and gets in bed with me, I kind of want to snuggle him a little.
I have to say though, so we have this thing on our bed. I'm going to just preface it right now. I know that it's extra. I know that it's bougie. But it has become a non-negotiable. We have something called 8 Sleep. And if you've never heard of it, look it up. But I will forewarn you that it is expensive and you are going to think that we are insane. But once you have one, you can't.
If you can get one of these, it will change your life.
Have one. So they have mattresses, which we like our mattress. We didn't need that. So we went middle of the road. We got the 8 Sleep mattress like protector thing. And it has like water coils in it. And it's his and hers side.
Like microtubules, like tiny. You can't feel it.
No, you can't feel it. But what's so cool about it is that you set the temperature. So like mine at like 8 p.m. starts warming up. I like mine at about 80 degrees-ish.
Way hotter than that.
TJ,
you like yours pushing 90.
In the winter, I do like it warmer, but then I lower it down. The nice thing is if you get hot, you just tap the side of your mattress. 2 taps lowers the temperature 2 degrees. 3 taps raises it 2 degrees. So his is at like 65. Like literally if you're laying in there and you just like put your foot over, it's like you go from like the desert to the frickin' Antarctica.
I just got the chills just at the thought of getting into our bed and the cold side of my bed. It feels so good. And the sheets just trapping you down, just tucking you in there. That feels so good.
But then in the night, whatever your body temperature is when it starts, it keeps you at that same ratio. So if I get like really hot,
it keeps the bed at a temperature that is optimal for where you are in your REM cycle. Yeah. And it tracks your respiratory rates and your heart rate.
So when he says sleep score, he's checking it via, let's look right now. Let's compare.
I literally get a text message every morning that says, TJ, your sleep score was 70.
So while we look up these sleep scores, this is what mine. Okay, I got mine. You got yours?
Yeah, I got mine.
Mine was 72 out of 100.
Mine was 75.
I think mine, though, is because of Diesel, because Diesel sleeps on my side. So
No,
it's
yours
hard.
is because of the amount of caffeine that you guzzle down from Starbucks every single day.
What caffeine?
That's why. I have done a study where I drink only 90 milligrams of caffeine. No, 90 to 100 in a day versus 200 in a day, and my sleep score is vastly different.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What I was going to say, though, is that, so AJ, before we went on spring break, he was sick for like 5 days, and he was home from school the whole week, like fever, probably one of the sickest he's been in a few years. And he did spend a lot of time in our bed that week because of just how sick he was, or like throughout the day. Our master bedroom's on the main floor, so it was just easier for like me to be working and him to be in bed. So he experienced the 8 sleep because
This was a mistake.
He was in it. So now when he gets in his bed, he's been crying
Because he gets hot like me. He likes it cold.
And he says, I need it to be colder. I need my bed to be like yours.
So I looked up to see if they make kids 8 sleeps.
Which is so freaking... We're not doing that.
We're not.
I hope that you're kidding.
I'm not kidding about that. I looked it up.
We are not buying him a baby 8 sleep.
Anyways, we were in Bradenton, Florida.
Yeah, sorry.
And we were in AMI for some of it.
Yep.
We would cross the bridge. Here's the thing about that, though, is spring break time, 4 miles. I felt like I was in LA traffic.
Yeah.
But it was only single lane. That's why it was so bad. Mm-hmm. But 4 miles across the island could take you 40 minutes.
Yeah, because I didn't do a lot of like research prior. TJ kind of handled it all. And when we got in the car the first day to go to the beach and he put it in the GPS and it said 40 minutes, I almost slapped him.
But I had researched it to the point of like the night before I was mapping it out. I was like, all right, here's the beach we're going to go to. It says it's 15 minutes away. This is perfect.
Yeah, like 15 minutes is fine.
Amanda's going to keep her cool. Because here's the other thing.
40 minutes? I'm like, guys, this is not worth it.
Here's the other thing. Where we live in Michigan, there is traffic. With that being said, not for us. Because we don't ever get into rush hour traffic. The clinic, I never take the highway. Amanda obviously works here. And like hardware stores, everything is close. So we never have to take the highway. So we have not experienced even rush hour traffic for so long that a 5-minute, maybe 10-minute slowdown sends us through the roof. And Amanda,
but not
next
even,
level.
Not even 5 or 10 minutes. Like, that's fine. But when I thought it was like a 5, I literally thought we were walking distance to the beach.
Okay, well, that's your fault.
I know, but I'm saying, so I thought like, okay, we're close. But I didn't know like where. Like Bradenton, there's like water. I didn't know like where we're going to the beach.
Fine.
I just wasn't expecting it. And it was just like the kids had already been a lot that morning. We packed up all the stuff. We made all the sandwiches. We're like in the car.
Do you guys do this with your spouse? Is this a female thing versus a male thing? Do the males get more frustrated? This is a thing for you that I found is that it is out of our control. There's nothing we can do. And you get irrationally mad. Like, we've committed. We're going to the beach. The chairs are loaded up in what was going to be legitimately, I think it was actually a 20-minute drive without traffic. And now it's a 35-minute drive.
It was not 35.
It was.
It was 42.
Okay, fine. 42. It's 22 minutes.
42 feels like an hour.
It's
35 feels like 30
minutes. It's 22 minutes more than what we were going to do. Are we going to let 22 minutes derail our day?
But he does this. He says the difference as if it's 22 minutes different.
That's what it was.
It's 42 minutes.
But we already committed to 20. We were committed to 20.
Anyways, the thought of having to
that's girl math. That is girl math. We already spent, like, the first 20 was free because we were already going to spend it. That's girl math.
Yeah, but that was like the max. And then you double it.
You're telling me if there was a pair of shorts that you wanted really bad and they were $50, but you had a $25 gift card, how much are those shorts costing you?
That's not the same at all.
Answer the question.
It's the same amount of time. My time is more valuable than money.
It's the same amount of money.
I know. My time is more valuable than money.
Whatever.
It's not apples to apples.
Whatever. I put it in girl math terms for you, and you're still not buying it.
But
whatever.
I did I will say my reaction was too much. I got too upset. Not that I was like mad, like I wasn't like yelling and whatever, but I just like my level of defeat plummeted. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, because in my head, I'm like, okay, we're here for, 6 full days. We want to get as many beach days in as possible. That's 40 minutes there, 40 minutes back every single day. Like, that's not fun. I didn't drive an hour and a half from the airport just to drive 45 minutes to the beach. Like, I thought our drive was to get us to the beach.
All right. We sorted it out.
It wasn't like that every day, though, thankfully. No. The weekends, so we got there Friday. Saturday and Sunday were bad. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like those were 20 minutes. 15,
yeah, we figured it
out. Depending on which beach we went to.
We figured it out.
But the beaches that we went and that we really liked. So if you're planning on going to Anna Maria Island, Bean Point is the one that's up furthest towards like the actual heart of Anna Maria Island.
The northernmost area.
Yeah. That beach was beautiful. We went on like a cloudier day, so we didn't quite get to see it in its like full glory, but the beach was definitely like white, soft sand.
Powdery sand.
Water was like super blue on a cloudy day. I can't even imagine what it would be like in the sun.
Yeah, I liked that a lot. The only gripe that I had with that area was the parking to get onto the beach was impossible. There was none. I parked on a street, questionable parking spot, didn't know if I was going to get towed. And didn't, but I had to walk a long way.
For it being such
which is fine. I like a long walk, but
for it being such a big beach, it was confusing why there wasn't like a big parking lot.
It's because of
everybody's just stays.
Prime real estate, and it's all houses. Then we also went to whatever that main
Manatee Beach.
Manatee Beach was nice. I've just never experienced a beach so crowded.
That was like the biggest beach. So Bean Point was probably like, I'm so bad at judging distance, but I would say medium level width, where it's like not a super long walk.
Oh, like the depth of the beach.
Yeah, like it wasn't a super long walk to the beach, but it was decent enough where you could have like several rows of people.
Yeah.
You know? It wasn't.
Yeah, I don't like that depth necessarily.
I like Bean Point, I mean.
Yeah. My favorite beach depth that we went to was Coquina Beach.
Yeah, but wait, so at Manatee Beach, that beach, I would say, that's like right when you cross the bridge. So that was the first beach we went to because it was the closest. It would have shaved 20 minutes or so off our time.
Yeah.
And that beach was huge, like super deep, volleyball nets, like probably the most like lively beach. So if you're looking for that, like big lifeguard tower, and like you can rent umbrellas and chairs. There's like a tiki bar and cornhole. So like if you're looking for like lively, that would be the beach that you'd go to.
Not what I'm looking for.
Ice cream shop.
Yeah.
Like it had that. So we went there the first day on a Saturday on spring break. Would not recommend. We couldn't even like get close to the water. And then we had to put our chairs down, walk super far. So that wasn't like ideal. But if you went on a non-weekend or a non-spring break time, I think that could be a really good beach.
It could be. I still just like not having to walk so far. Even if you had to walk all the way to the water with the chairs and all that, like it's still too far for me.
It was a fun beach to watch the sunset at, though. We did go back there for one of the nights, and we were able to like get ice cream, and there was live music, and we could get a drink. Like that was good.
Yeah,
I liked that. But then Coquina Beach is pretty much the same distance as Bean Point, but if you go left towards like the south side.
South, yes.
That beach was great, much more narrow, and that was where we had, I talked about this on my Instagram, but proper beach etiquette.
We were invaded.
We need to discuss, because if you go to us as people arriving at the beach, you're looking around, where are we going to put our chairs?
You're looking for a significant opening where you're not going to be worried about having kids fling sand on you, or I don't know, if they decide to play some sort of...
What do you think is an acceptable radius that you would not put your chair? Is it 5 feet? Is it 10 feet?
I'm going to split the difference, 7.5 to 8 feet.
7.5 to 8 feet radius around another group, which there wasn't a lot of spots for.
There was, though.
Well, if you wanted to be like, let's just say row 1.
If you wanted to be close to the water.
Close to the water.
Those spots were taken, but there was plenty of spots between the edge of the beach and where we were at.
Coquina Beach, you could probably get 3...
4
5. Maybe.
4 or 5.
Comfortable, though.
Let me put it this way. There was nobody behind us for a long ways.
It was the narrowest beach or whatever, which we liked because you can get to the water. So we go, we put our chairs down. Technically, we're like in row 2, but we're in a window of 2 groups from row 1.
And there's not enough room in row 1 for us to anybody really to comfortably be in row 1.
Maybe like one chair could have
So we kind of split the difference there. Yeah.
So we set up our stuff. We got our chairs. The kids are playing. There is no room between us, in front of us, for chairs. Like, this is it. The kids build their little racetrack thing. While they're setting up their racetrack, this family of 5 comes over. I'm not kidding you guys. We could have reached like this and touched their chair.
Yeah.
Like, way too close.
They set up shop
directly in front of us.
Yeah.
Like, the water is like almost to where, like, you know how like the water comes up and it's wet and then it's dry?
Yeah, they're almost in the water.
They're like almost sitting in the wet. Like, one, you're way too close.
Their toes were in the water.
There's no room here. And they sat there the whole day, and it was like so annoying because like their stuff is everywhere and like there's a whole beach.
It wasn't a very organized camp either.
There's a whole beach.
If you're going to set up in front of me, you got to be organized. Nice little organized camp. I got to look at that camp for the rest of the day, and I got to be like, wow, at least they're an organized group.
Yeah, it just seemed so bizarre to me. I would never do that. I would feel so uncomfortable. And they never once were like, hi, or like, can we sit here? Or like anything. They just were like, plop, here we are. Yeah.
They also were bumping some music.
Yeah, it just was weird. It felt very inconsiderate and like not good beach etiquette.
Yeah.
Like, we had too much stuff to move.
They didn't have us in mind, that's for sure.
No, it was.
I didn't have them in mind either.
It was well, I didn't think they were going to be there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, well, I mean, sorry if my son flings sand at you. Like, he's playing. You literally chose that spot when you saw where he was making his little hole.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So
anyways, beach etiquette. If you see us on the beach, don't come
7 feet.
Don't come sitting
feet.
Within 7 feet.
COVID
Just
level.
think of a basketball hoop height, and I think that's very safe. 10 feet is very safe.
Yeah.
But 10 feet feels like a lot.
It's a lot to ask. 5 at least.
To ask for on a spring break.
5 at least. Yeah. But that was fun. So those were like the 3 main beaches. There were other ones, like I know, like Longboat Key, like some of those ones that if you keep going further south, all of those beaches along there are on the same like strip of land.
Yeah.
So they're all pretty
same
comparable.
Island.
Same island.
Same strip of land.
Yeah.
It's an interesting word for island.
Sorry.
That's all right. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. For some reason, to me, it doesn't feel like an island because there's a bridge. Like, I feel like if you don't,
I see what you're saying.
If you don't get to it by boat, then you're not on an island. Like, an island to me has water 100%. Well, I guess that would if it has a bridge. It can't have any contact.
You saw what I was doing there.
It can't have any contact with other land other than via the water.
Otherwise, it would be a
island.
No, if it had contact with land other than the water.
It would be a peninsula.
There it is. We live on We do. Michigan is a peninsula.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never, ever in my life thought about the lower peninsula.
It's literally
as a peninsula. Wow.
For the audience, what does UP stand for?
I've never thought of Michigan as a peninsula.
Upper.
Peninsula feels like it has to be straight and skinny and long.
Well.
Whoa. Is the definition of a peninsula that it has water on 3 sides? You guys,
this is what we got going today, guys.
Do you remember when I told you that I have these epiphanies of things that just make so much sense, but they don't click until they click?
Did you not take like a Michigan history class in school?
I don't know.
We had a whole thing. I mean,
I know we have the lower peninsula and the upper peninsula, but
we just it seems like you just figured that out.
I just think we're a state.
Well, we are that too.
That's just what I see us as.
We are that too.
Wow.
We are.
What does the upper peninsula connect to?
Okay.
I'm serious.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's over there. I thought it connected.
Like actually this? It connects to Newfoundland.
Like this. I don't know. Anyways. They can't see us, people that are listening.
It would be like
That's not it
that.
either.
What are you talking about?
You got your thumb goes on the top. Okay, we're getting way too off track.
Sorry. Well, when you start realizing that the state you've lived in your whole life, Michigan, is actually a peninsula.
Is there any other peninsula? Is Florida a peninsula?
Okay.
Is Florida a peninsula?
Yes. It's surrounded on 3 sides by water. Same criteria as Michigan as a peninsula.
Maine?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if we can consider Maine. Let's look at a map.
History was never, or geography was never my strong suit.
Maine.
I think it's not.
No.
Yeah, I think it's not.
No. It's kind of a part of a peninsula.
Okay. No one cares about what we're talking about, so
Sorry.
we should move on.
All right, let's talk about the topography.
Okay, so in Anna Maria Island for food, here's the places that we went. The first night we ordered DoorDash from a place called Oak and Stone.
10 out of 10 DoorDash.
It was 10 out of 10. So
we should have gone to eat there.
I know. If it was that good as a DoorDash, I can only imagine. It was in Bradenton. The pizza was so good.
I had like some buffalo chicken quinoa bowl that was top notch.
It was really good. So I'd recommend that place. Then we went the next day to... Did we do a pool day that day?
Oh, the next day we had the hibachi chef.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Sunday, so TJ has some family that recently moved to Florida. His grandparents were also, they snowbird, so they were down in Florida. So they came over for the weekend. So that was nice to be able to spend time with them Saturday and Sunday. Sunday was kind of cloudy, so we didn't do the 42-minute trek over to the beach.
Not worth it.
We stayed at
I calculated that in my head, and I thought, she's going to be mad about 42 minutes, and she's going to be mad because it's cloudy.
I'm not going to be mad. You're making me sound like I'm a psychopath.
Well, you're not. You're not a psychopath.
We
you
had
would have been disappointed.
This week. We had a commenter this week in the comments say that they think you're too mean to me.
Sorry, commenter.
What say you?
I don't think I am.
No.
I think this is friendly husband-wife banter.
I know. And their comment said that. They're like, I don't know if this is banter or not, but which I appreciate. Thanks for looking out for me. But I am okay. We do joke around a lot.
You should see her off camera to me. She's very mean.
I'm not mean.
Anyways, no, she's not.
But
she's a lovely young lady.
We just knew that the boys, because they don't really last all day at the beach anyway, we knew that it would be too cold and they would want to come home. So we did a pool day. We ended up booking a hibachi to come to the Airbnb, which was so fun. 10 out of 10 recommend doing that. They have them everywhere. So if you ever go on vacation in a big group, that's a really fun thing to have at home.
And you don't have to plan ahead. I called that guy at noon, and he was there at 6 p.m.
Happy Hibachi is who we used. I think they service a lot of Florida. They have like a couple different locations. But it was fun, interactive. The kids had a lot of fun.
I liked their saying, more sake, more baby.
Oh, yeah. More sake, more baby.
That was fun.
Which is, yeah. So that was really fun. We went to a place called the Donut Experience a lot. That was like my number one recommended place to go.
Recommendation for that is order ahead. Apparently you can order ahead.
I didn't know that.
There is no benefit in ordering like while you're there during their busy season because odds are you're not going to see them make yours. We did see ours, but just because I stood there with AJ because he was bored.
So it's basically a gourmet donut place. Or is it the Donut Experiment?
Donut Experiment.
Donut Experiment. You go in, you pick your type of donut, you pick the icing, you pick the toppings, and you pick the drizzle. So you're getting like a totally custom gourmet donut.
It is the Build-A-Bear of donuts.
The Subway.
Sure.
The Build-A-Bear.
Yeah. I mean, you get the same base. You're all getting a bear. You're going to get...
stuff it.
They stuff it. Then you pick the outfit. You pick the little sunglasses, your little hat, little shoes. Do you want the chase or do you want the rubble? You know.
Okay. It was great, but we did have to wait like 35 minutes for these donuts.
Yeah.
I don't love donuts enough to wait 30 minutes.
I think that if I were the Donut Experiment place, I would not allow for call ahead orders during the busy season.
Or you can only
because they
order.
had so many people just waiting for donuts.
They also had people, like a lot of groups, ordering like a dozen donuts.
I think that's a pretty common number in the donut industry.
For like
it's a pretty common number.
They actually, what they should do is have some that are pre-made. Because I would have just taken like a vanilla icing sprinkle donut.
I think that takes away from the entire thing. There is no experiment then. Anyways.
You get more people in and out.
That's neither here nor there.
It was cool.
We liked the donut experiment.
I definitely think you should go, but maybe don't go on we went on a Monday. It wasn't even the weekend. I don't know. But again, with the parking,
order ahead unless they listen to this podcast and listen to my advice and stop the order ahead thing.
Yeah. Everybody on the island, though, has golf carts. So if you can go to Anna Maria Island, I would stay on the island side. But the downside is because of the size of the properties, there's not really any pools.
Yeah, we really wanted a place with a pool because
I'm sure there are pools, but
but they're pretty rare. But the kids are not going to last at the beach. They're not old enough to last at the beach all day, and they need a pool. They don't need a pool, but they really would like a pool.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, they swam nonstop.
Yes, they loved the pool. The pool was cool because it was shallow enough that AJ could very easily touch, which he has not had that. I could even touch. I'm not that tall. I could touch pretty much all of it.
We played a lot of just like volleyball in the pool. They like to jump off the little fountain thing. It had like a little mini golf thing in the yard. It was a good Airbnb.
It was great.
Yeah, it was great. And then we tried to go to this place called Ugly Grouper. It's like a very
it's a islandy, beachy themed
kind of outdoor
place.
Fish.
Very popular, has lots of good reviews.
Yeah.
You all recommended it heavily. Unfortunately, the Ugly Grouper had an ugly wait time of 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah, they said
with no guarantee that they would even get you seated that night. And
like,
that was at like 5:30 or 6 p.m.
Yeah, and they don't do like call aheads or the wait list or anything. So I don't even know like how you get a table, honestly.
Yeah.
And then we called another place and that was like the same thing. They were like, honestly, we're not even taking people for the rest of the night. I'm like, oh my gosh. So we ended up, that was actually a happy accident. We ended up at a place called The Shore, Longboat Key.
I just recommended this to a client that was in the clinic yesterday because she was going to AMI. And
it was,
this was so good.
It was amazing. Like off the beaten path. It's like farther south on the island, probably 20 minutes or so.
Longboat Key area.
Yeah, but it was such a cool restaurant. The vibes were like amazing. You could go there. You could like dress up if you wanted, but you didn't have to. It was kind of like, I want to use the word marina, but it wasn't a marina, but it had like
no, it was
docks.
A marina. It was attached to a marina. Though. Yeah, there was.
There was?
Yeah, it was attached to a marina.
But you could like walk out on these piers. We saw dolphins.
It felt like a little bit more of a local spot too, but
food was great.
What I liked about that is that, you go to these touristy places and you get like traditional food, like it's nothing crazy, and then they bring the bill and it's like $170 for like when AJ, you and I went to that place, the other place we haven't talked about, I don't know if we're going to, but there was the three of us, so we had two adult meals, one kids meal.
This was at the beach house waterfront restaurant?
and an appetizer.
At Coquina Beach.
And it was like $175. And it wasn't bad. It just didn't equate to a $175 meal. And I get it. It was on the beach. It was great setting, good sunset, and that's what you pay for. But this place had the view, had on the water, had it all. It was a little bit more expensive than that. But we also took my mom and Jordan. And the food was immensely better.
Yeah, it was really,
like it
really
was
good.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So highly recommend that place, The Shore.
We also, I'm trying to think. So we went to an ice cream place near the donut experiment called like the Chocolate Emporium or something like that.
We did go there.
They had hard scoop ice cream, which the boys really liked. Also, we got chips and salsa at this place next door, and you got a taco. It's called like Popo.
What was that place?
Toquitos or something like that. It was so good. The chips were like, they must have been made in-house. And then the taco that he got, it was almost like the shell. It was a soft shell taco, but they like crisped it up.
Fried it.
It was so good. So 10 out of 10 recommend that. You should definitely get lunch there.
Yeah, that place was really good. I'm looking it up. Popo's Taqueria.
Yeah, it was
Poppo.
it was good.
It was really good.
Oh, and then so we went a couple of times to this other ice cream place called Holy Cow, and they had a ton of flavors, and they had soft serve, which I like.
I also like that one. I think most everything there is privately owned or locally owned, but that one was very obviously privately owned. The older guy was there. He's been there forever, scooping ice cream. Mm-hmm. I think it was probably his daughter was there too. They also were from the Midwest, which was kind of cool, from Cleveland, Ohio, but they wouldn't let us write Clarkston, Michigan on their "Where are you from" board because all they care about is Ohio, and she literally said that to me.
Yeah, she did. I only like soft serve vanilla. I don't like ice cream. Other than that, really, I'll have Superman like occasionally.
It's one of the most boring stats about you.
It's a bummer when I go to ice cream places and they don't have soft serve.
You're a fun and exciting gal, but your ice cream choices are boring.
I don't really like ice cream though. It's like creamy and
ice cream.
I don't love it.
I really like ice cream.
I know you guys all really like hard scoop, and I'm like, guys, can we please go to like? I want custard.
I've never met a cookies and cream that I don't like.
I do like it sometimes. I have to be in the mood for it. Oh, you want to know what else happened, you guys? I have a crazy story. We were at the ice cream place at the beach, okay? Taking the kids through the ice cream line. We're all of like his family is there. We're all ordering. We sit at the table and I'm like, that's weird. My phone is missing. Like, I know I had it. I never don't have my phone. I always know where it is.
And whenever her phone is missing, I walk up 2 minutes later and she goes, do you have my phone?
Well, a lot of times you'll say like, yeah, it's in my pocket.
No,
I grabbed it.
almost never.
Yes.
Almost never.
You'll see it like on the counter and you'll be like, oh yeah, I grabbed it for you.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. So I asked him, I'm like, do you have my phone? He's like, no. I'm like, that's so weird. And I was like, okay, well, let me get out his phone, do like the Find My iPhone thing. And if you didn't know, when you log in on there, like if you have to set it up beforehand to have it on your phone, I could log into my phone and it will literally point you and say like, walk this way, walk this way.
It's gotten pretty advanced. It did not used to say this.
You're 10 feet. You're getting closer. It's almost like you're playing a game of like hot and cold or whatever. So I pull it out and it says your phone is 50 feet away. I'm like, 50 feet. I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, okay, well, the car is way further than that. It's definitely not in the car. So I'm like, okay, let's pull out the directions. So I click on it and it's like, go this way. And so I walk right outside and there's like a bunch of people in the concession line. And I'm like getting closer and closer. And it's like, you're 10 feet, 5 feet, 4 feet. And I turn and it's like straight at this guy that's standing there, but it still said I'm like 5 feet away. And I'm like, this is so weird. And he did look like a little questionable. So I wasn't like super excited to be like, sir, do you have my phone? Like, did you take my phone? So I go back in and I was going to tell TJ. But then as I'm doing that.
Like, I'm going to go up to the questionable dude for your phone.
I need my phone.
I mean, you need it, but not like worth risking
and so
getting.
As I'm walking, I'm like, there's no way it says 5 feet. There's this other door that like basically goes into the kitchen of this concession thing. And I walk up to the door and I open it and I go like into the kitchen and it says like, you have arrived. Like your phone is right here. And I look around and this girl's like, what are you doing back here? I'm like, I don't know. My phone.
I don't know.
My phone is missing and it says that it's right here. And she's like, 1 second. And she looks and my phone was right there on the counter and she hands it to me. And I said, how did this get back here? And she was like, I don't know.
No, but she like went and got it.
Yeah, she went like around the cash register thing and was like, let me see if someone whatever.
But we could see it moving on the
yes,
the app.
That was the other thing.
That was the thing that was like, it wasn't stationary.
As I was walking, like trying to find it, it kept like changing the I don't know. It was the weirdest thing ever. I don't know how my phone ended up back behind the ice cream counter in the kitchen of the concession thing.
Somebody took that.
Somebody took it and then... But like a worker?
Maybe. And they just kept it in their pocket. It felt weird.
It was so weird.
It felt weird.
I've never had that happen before.
Because you also was like, who had it? Oh, I don't know.
I know. I was like, well, who had it?
Everything turned into I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. It was just so weird. I've never had that happen before. Maybe it was totally
innocent, but
I don't know.
You know, I had like a Sappy moment on our trip. Yeah.
Let's hear it.
I was walking Jordan in his stroller, and our boys, the way they have been in Florida traditionally is that, and really anywhere, they just don't nap really well out of their comfort zone. But I can always get them to nap if I take them on a walk. Not AJ now, but that's how it's always been. And it's one of my favorite things to go do because I just get alone. I usually listen to a podcast or turn some music on. I'm just like in my thoughts. And I was walking Jordan around and I had this thought. when I was pushing him that this is probably the last trip to Florida that I'll just be pushing a little boy around on a walk.
Are you trying to make me cry?
And then I had like father-son songs on, and I was crying. I was crying on a walk with a little boy, and that was rough.
It is crazy to think about.
Like, you know, I always tell AJ, like, I'll pick him up and be like, you're getting too big. It's making me happy sad. Mm-hmm. Like, and he's like, what's happy sad? I'm like, I'm so happy because you're such a sweet little boy, but you're not a little, you're like almost not a little boy anymore.
Yeah, it is crazy because Jordan has, like, sometimes he'll nap, sometimes he won't. I do think we're, like, right on the cusp of him dropping the nap.
Yeah, but it was,
Have you seen, there's a trend on TikTok and Instagram, I've seen it, where it's, like, a mom, and she, like, goes up to her, like, 10 or 12-year-old, and she's like, I just realized that, like, I don't remember the last time that I, like, picked you up and held you. Like, one day it just was the last one, and I didn't know it was the last one, and she's like, can I just pick you up one more time? And it's, like, a 12-year-old. And he like, oh, they're always like, yeah. And then like she picks up like the big kid, and they both like just start crying because it's like she was like, I'll remember this moment, like the last time that I picked you up.
It just feels so good when you pick those little boys up and they just lay their head right there. It does feel so good. And AJ
is getting big though. He's like to the point where it's like almost
he's hefty. Be done. Yeah. We're not when you're not a tall person.
Yeah.
Doesn't take long.
Our boys are long.
Yeah, they're long boys. They're not that long though when you put them next to the other kids in their class. But anyways, that was my sappy sad moment, and I was crying on the walk by myself. I'm like, oh, if somebody sees me, they're gonna think I have a crazy.
Sappy moment.
You do?
Yeah. I on the last day took AJ over to the little like beach bridge, and we went jet skiing in the bay, just like him and I. I thought that it would be super fun, and we're out on the jet ski. We have an hour, and we can just kind of like go wherever. We see some dolphins, which was so cool. He was like,
they are amazing creatures.
I know. It was so cool. We saw a little fin, and he was like, I think I just saw a dolphin. So we like drove over by them, and then there was like 4 dolphins, and we just kept like following them, and he just thought it was so fun. And so we go back under the bridge, and we're like, I think we had like 20 minutes left or something. And he was like, let's look for more dolphins. We hadn't seen them again. And then I was just like, isn't it so cool, like how beautiful, like God made the earth? Like, this is so cool, like to see dolphins in the water and all this stuff. And I've been trying to be more intentional of not just like praying with them at night or whatever. Like normally if I was doing that, like in my head, I would just be like, wow, God, like, thank you. Like in my head, just like, thank you for this. Like, this is so beautiful. And I'm trying to teach my kids things that we can pray about other than just like thanking him for our food or like things like that. And so I just out loud prayed to him, or prayed out loud and just said like, Jesus, like, thank you so much for this. Like, this is such a beautiful, you know, gift that you've given us, and for us to be able to be out here together, whatever, spending time together. We were driving like semi-fast while this is happening. And I said, I pray that you show us more dolphins. Like, it would be really cool to see like more of your creation or whatever. And AJ, he says, without even skipping a beat, he just told me that we should slow down. And I was like, what? I was like, who said that? And he was like, God. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, God talks to me sometimes. And then I slow down, and I'm like, tell me more about that.
Forget about the dolphins.
Yeah, screw these dolphins. What do you mean? And I didn't want him to be embarrassed. I didn't want him to feel, I just was like, that's so cool, AJ. I was like, what do you mean he talks to you? He's like, I just talk to God sometimes. And I was like, keep it together, Amanda. Keep it together. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's
I'm
sweet.
like, AJ, I talk to God sometimes too. I said, does he ever talk to you? And do you, like, because he said, I talk to God sometimes. And I said, oh yeah. I said, do you ever hear from God, or do you ever hear him say anything? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I said, God talks to me too. I said, where does he talk to you? Like, where do you hear it? Like with your ears, do you hear it? And he said, no, I hear it with my heart. And I was just like, oh my God. Yeah. Like, this is so cool. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, you know, you can practice that. Yeah. You know, the more that you talk to him and listen to him and kind of like think about that. Like I said, should we ask him something and like see if he answers? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, and it's okay too. Like, he doesn't always answer, you know, like you might not always hear something, or you don't have to have something. And if it's nothing, that's okay. And I said, dear Jesus, I said, thank you so much for talking to AJ. Like, that is so cool that he has his own relationship with you. And I said, can you tell AJ right now and put on his heart, what is your favorite thing about him? And he said that I'm kind. And I was like, that is just so cool. And like, even if it's just like, I do fully believe that children can hear from God, and that we can hear from God, and he can, put pictures or impressions or just like thoughts. And as you grow in your faith, the more you can discern, like, is that my thought? Is that God's thought? So like, regardless of if it was God's thought or his thought or whatever, he's practicing listening and having a relationship with God.
Yeah.
And that's so freaking cool.
It doesn't get better than that.
So cool. I was just like, wow, at 5 years old, for him to, without me even having to prompt him, thinking that he can hear God in his heart and that he will continue to discern that is one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah. That's a sappy one, and I love it.
I know.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah. I will say it was just a cool moment.
I'm just curious, because my hot take on jet skis, an hour on a jet ski, like, what are we doing for an hour?
I love jet skiing.
People, I feel like you either love jet skis or you could just take or leave it. Like, or there's probably some people that just hate it.
Tell us in the comments, are you a jet skier or could you leave the jet skis? I would rather be on a jet ski than a boat.
Oh.
I could be on a jet ski the entire day. I want to go as fast as the jet ski will go all day.
No, thank you. We owe the people some more questions.
Oh, yeah.
We were going to do that at the end of the episode.
I'm trying to think, was there anything else Anna Marie Island related that we wanted to touch on?
I don't think so.
I think we talked about all of it. Overall, we loved it. I don't know that it is a place that we would, like, visit again right now. I just think with, like, the golf cart situation and the island and all that, like, it's fun, but I also think there's other places in Florida that I would want to see.
I think I'm just a East Coast kind of guy. I think I'm of East Coast Florida guy.
Yeah.
I think it's less crowded. I like the beaches better. I really just like that it's less crowded, honestly, in the areas that we go on the East Coast of Florida. So that's just my hot take. I think West Coast is great. It's a little too crowded for me. And that's how I am at home, too. Like, I don't like big crowds. I'm just not a big crowd guy.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, we put out a question box. We had a ton of questions that got asked. If you missed our last episode, we touched on a lot of them, but we ran out of time. So we thought we would end this episode with a few more of those questions. And then next week, I have a super exciting guest coming in. We have Jacqueline Sherratt coming on the podcast. She is the wife of Ben Sherratt, Detroit Red Wing defenseman, and she owns her own interior design business. And I cannot wait to chat with her through just like all things motherhood.
I was on her website yesterday, just kind of like scrolling. I was on her Instagram, and then and obviously she got a link to her website. This girl she's
the real deal.
She know what she's doing.
She is such a cool designer. Like, her style is so timeless and classic, and I cannot wait to hear like from her. I cannot imagine trying to build a business and running it successfully while being a mom, while having a professional hockey player husband who like travels a ton. Yeah,
she very much fits the brand of the Mostly Thriving. I'm sure of it. Yeah. And also just to hear you two go back and forth and talk about all the things that you just said, because the struggles are probably going to be so real. Yeah. And obviously, like, I'm almost an NHL player, so
yeah, I mean, basically.
Yeah, I mean.
But anyway, so look forward to that. But let's do some of the Q&As, and then that's how we'll wrap up.
Okay, the first one is funny. I didn't see this one last time. It says, okay, TJ celeb lookalike. I have a thought, but I don't want to say it. LOL.
You get a lot.
I do get a lot. I get...
Wait, before we say what it is, drop in the comments what you think who his doppelgangers are. It makes me sort of sad because the one that you get all the time, I don't think he's cute.
That hurts.
So what is it? I mean, he's like the...
Say it.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. I do get that one
a lot. A lot.
But not the long-haired Aaron Rodgers.
No.
When I had shorter hair.
I can see why they think you resemble him. Mm-hmm. But if him just objectively, I don't think he's attractive, but I think you're super hot.
Well, you're stuck with me, baby.
But you do also get Jordan Rodgers, his brother, and his brother is much cuter.
Yeah. I also get Ted from Schitt's Creek.
Ted from Schitt's Creek, if you don't watch it, is also a veterinarian and owns a veterinary hospital. So very fitting. When I graduated, that show was pretty hot. Yeah.
And I got that daily.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Somebody also once told me I look like Jerry Seinfeld, and that was pretty offensive.
That is not good.
No offense, Jer, but that ain't it.
Not what you're going for?
And then one person also told me I look like Steve-O. That's only happened like once
Who's
or twice.
that?
The guy from Jackass.
Oh, I don't see that.
He's got like he had severe drug addictions.
Oh, okay.
He's good now. He's clean.
All
Good,
right.
good guy.
I don't think I have a doppelganger.
Well, you kind of, what was that one, when you put that one wig on? So I guess that's not really you, but it's how you decided to do this hair when we did the wig fairy thing. You looked like
Jennifer
Aniston.
I did get that.
Damn, mommy.
I don't think I look like her, though. It was more like Jennifer Aniston
But-
hair.
No, you looked like her.
Who do you guys think I look like? Do I have a doppelganger?
Not right now, you don't look like
Do
her.
I look like a celeb?
But when you did the wig try-on, you
I don't think I have
definitely
any.
looked like her.
I've never really been told, like, hey, you look like this person.
I don't know celebrities well enough. Like when people,
Yeah, TJ doesn't know anybody.
like they said Aaron Rodgers, obviously I know who that is because I watch sports, and I obviously knew
You don't know
had,
movie actors.
but I don't know.
and actresses.
Generally, unless they play sports, I don't know them.
Yeah.
We have a guy at the clinic a client that looks exactly to a T like Shane Gillis.
Really?
He's so tall. His wife was in the clinic yesterday, and I've been wanting to say it to him, but also like you kind of want to be careful, because
You don't
Shane
want
Gillis,
somebody being like, hey, you're
he's
Jerry
kind of
Seinfeld.
goofy. Yeah, you don't want to just throw that out there. And I said to her, do you know? Okay, I'm gonna say this because he's not here, but you know your husband looks like Shane Gillis, and I just kind of like slowly let it out, and she was like, yes, he gets that all the time, and he loves it.
Oh, that's
so
funny.
next time I see him, I'm just gonna be like, oh, hey, Shane.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
so that was funny.
Okay, next question.
Okay, next question for Amanda. Biggest DIY regret, like would never do it again, not do over, never again.
It's so tough because I feel like DIY projects are kind of like giving birth, where you do it and you're like, I'm never doing that again. And then a few months go by and you're like, was it really that bad? Like, I don't really remember. I think the project that I've hated in the moment the most.
I can tell you the one that I've hated the most for sure.
Gosh, I don't even know. I mean, like, the treehouse was by far the hardest thing I've ever built. And there were moments where I was like the bridge, like, how am I going to do this? And I'm so frustrated. But, like, I would do that 10 times over.
I hated the first kitchen.
Yeah.
The first kitchen sucked.
Yeah, I feel
You
like
made
I blacked that
your
out.
mistake on the first kitchen was
I didn't tell you that I was going to do it.
You didn't. It wasn't even that, but like I feel like you didn't. Which it was great content, so like I don't think it's like a regret. We wouldn't do it again this way, but like you didn't have it like fully figured out.
Yeah.
You just like ripped out the backsplash, ripped out the drywall.
Yeah.
Like
I
in
thought
one day, you were just like spur of the moment. Here I go.
Yeah, if any of you guys were here, it was probably 4 years ago now. TJ was at work, and I just got this idea that day to take my backsplash out, and I took a hammer to it, and I thought I could just chip away all the tile, and then by the end of the day when he came home, there was no drywall. It was just the studs on our whole backsplash kitchen, and I didn't know how to fix it. So
Yeah, that was not fun to come home to.
yeah.
Not my favorite. I also hate they do such a good job if we have our cabinets painted, but I hate
It is an
I
annoying
hate
project.
I really don't like it.
Things that
if you
I
could
love.
do that when you're out of town, like if you're going out of town and you could just be like, here's the keys, paint my
Yeah.
cabinets, that would be great.
I don't really know that I have one that I'm like, no, never again. I'm sure I do.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Okay. Do we want to do more?
We can do a couple more. Let's
Okay.
do 2 more.
How do you tackle debt? That's not a question for you.
For me?
Yeah. How do we tackle debt?
Okay, we can talk about it.
Yeah. So first of all, no credit card debt. Period.
Yeah, we
Ever.
don't really do. I mean, we have business credit cards. That's it.
We use our credit cards, but we pay. Those are fully paid off every single. I mean, honestly, when we first got married and for a very long time, I would pay our credit cards off every single time we got paid.
Yeah.
and I never spent what I didn't have already.
Right.
Like even if I made $0 in that 2-week period when I was working for Chrysler, they didn't pay me, we had plenty saved up that I could pay that off.
Yeah.
So it never really felt like, credit cards never felt like debt. And so I think that if you're ever looking at your credit card as a potential for debt, you're not using your credit card the way you should.
Just a slippery slope. I understand if you're going to make like a big purchase on like furniture or appliances or something like that. Like I do understand those scenarios happen for people where you need to finance and do that kind of stuff.
Financing is different than credit card though.
I guess, yeah. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I understand it for big purchases like
Yeah.
that. Like you can't just shell out.
But like some places, if you're buying a new couch or you're buying a appliance, like you were saying, like they'll say, oh, 0% financing for 24 months. That to me is different than credit card, because credit cards, it's not 0% financing at all.
Right.
I mean, it's for the month. Like once you don't pay it off, they're gonna start kicking your butt in interest. And if you were already struggling to pay for that, it is now crippling.
Yeah.
And so credit card debt has just always been a no-no for us. It's never even been an option.
Yeah.
To
Thankfully, we are like so grateful for this, but both of our parents paid for our undergrad. And so that was incredibly generous of them and kind, so that when we graduated, we didn't have student debt, which
Undergrad.
that's what I'm saying. When we graduated undergrad, we didn't have student debt, which I feel like really helped set us up for success and is something that because
we recognize that.
Yes, and because we got to experience it, that has always been something very important to us to be able to do for our boys, because I mean, college just keeps getting more and more expensive and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like I can see how it would be so hard to ever get out from under it.
Yeah.
When you graduate and you try to start working and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it can obviously be done, but
But for vet school, we paid for
that's what I mean. For undergrad.
Majority of that.
Yeah.
And so that was approximately $120,000.
Yeah.
And that is something that we, when I graduated, started paying immediately. Like, even if you're just chipping away and paying down the interest. So I guess in that scenario, get your interest paid off.
Yeah.
Like prioritize that interest, because paying interest on interest is so damaging, and it just compounds, and you're just never getting out from under it. And so do everything you can to get rid of the interest so you can stop the bleeding.
I think that focusing on paying off the debt has always been like our first priority. It's like, we're going to pay on this, we're going to save money, and then whatever's left, we will arrange our lifestyle around.
Yes.
It's never been like, we're going to live this, and if we have extra, we throw it in savings. If we have extra, we throw it here. Like, savings and debt have always been the priority.
It's a part of the budget.
We live off the rest.
Yeah. It's a part of the budget.
So I would say that would be my advice for tackling it, is don't treat debt like secondary.
Yeah. It's not an option.
Yeah.
Not an optional thing.
Because then it just keeps compounding.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You're going to have to make sacrifices for sure. Mm-hmm. And then, there was one thing on your mortgage. If you can afford to it's like if you make 1 or 2 extra payments a year, it shaves X amount of years off your actual mortgage. Mm-hmm. So I thought that's pretty interesting. I don't know the actual stat, but you can Google that. Mm-hmm. But we do make, when we can, we make an extra mortgage payment, which is helpful in the long run. Mm-hmm. Okay, this question: how do you afford to do all your projects, save for years, Lowe's credit card, or sponsorship?
So when I first started doing projects, it was just like part of the budget. It was very rental friendly things. We were in a rental house while TJ was in vet school, so it was wallpaper and decor and things like that. Then when we got our next house, we knew we wanted like new floors and just like odds and ends things, updating the kitchen, which to have our kitchen cabinets painted, we had to save for. That was something that like I wanted done, and we probably waited 6 months of saving to be able to, be able to afford that. So it started like that. But with my projects now with Instagram, I mean, everything is a business expense. So like project materials and things like that I'm buying are going under the Come Stay a While business account. But a lot of the projects that I do are sponsored by brands where they're giving me the product. Like, for example, the basement bar area that I just revealed to you guys, that I was gifted all the cabinets from Hampton Bay, and I was gifted a Home Depot card of like $1,000 to buy all of the materials and things that I would need for the room. But then on top of that, I got paid a flat fee from Home Depot for the partnership with the deliverables that they got. So I'm making, my flat fee money, which is then above and beyond where I'm profiting on the project, and it's covering the other things I bought exceeded the $1,000 gift card, which then I just put on my Come Stay a While card. So now when I do projects, our goal is to always find some sort of large sponsor for each one so that I'm at least profiting. And then in between, while I'm working on these projects and that's what's providing my content, I'm working with other brands in my stories for lifestyle things and getting paid that way.
And those are like all profit.
Those are all profit, yeah. So then,
probably the way that you afford most of the things, and I just want to add to the business expense thing. People who don't run a business or have a business don't quite always grasp the business. They're like David from Schitt's Creek, the expense people.
You just write it off.
Just write it off.
Yeah, the write-off people.
The write-off people. In order to call something a business expense or to have a business expense, you have to have money from the business to pay for that expense. It's not like you just say, oh, this is a business expense, somebody else pays for it. Like we are still paying for that. It comes out of it reduces our taxable income, which is a good thing. But like you can't just go willy-nilly and just be like, oh, I'm going to get that and that and that. Like it's a business expense. There's a lot of things you can get as a business expense.
Right. You still have to have the money to cover it.
But if you spend all your business's money as business expenses, you can't pay yourself or your employees.
Yeah. I mean, we run Come Stay a While very much like any other business. Like we run
100%.
Profit and loss statements, and we see like where can we scale back, or like what can we invest more into that's going to provide more profit so that we can do more projects. But, taking all that into account.
Yeah.
I am still budgeting and projecting, but I also have to be projecting for my viewers at the same time. So it's like this fine line of like, even if I don't have a sponsor for something, I like projecting. My followers like watching me project. So having that stuff going on allows me to then take on these other partnerships for like my lifestyle stuff.
You also started small. You also started not expensive. 100%. Obviously, things like glass for hockey boards is expensive. And so we weren't doing things that cost thousands of dollars to begin. It was things that cost maybe $100.
Yeah.
And then it scales up as you make money, and then brands start sending you stuff. Your following is also growing, so brands tell you stuff for free, and then they send you stuff and say, hey, we'll pay you to post about this. So as you grow, the expenses go up with it, but so does the income. Or your ability to pay for said expenses.
Yeah.
But they asked about like Lowe's credit card. We kind of already touched on this, but like in this business, you should not really have to take on much debt to start it up. We started Come Stay a While with like a few $1,000s. And that was just getting like necessary supplies and more so like setting up a business with like CPAs and things.
Yeah.
So
if you are just a person trying to do projects, obviously like put that into your budget. Like we have a line item for all of that kind of stuff. Like Starbucks for me is in the budget. Like we have a line item for it.
Barely. This addiction is running us dry.
Account for it. And so it's just like the things that you're wanting to do. You just be on the same team as your spouse and plan accordingly and figure out what that looks like. My
favorite way that people think you afford this is that you just got a sugar daddy.
I know.
That I'm just like this. People are like, dang, I should have been a veterinarian. I'm like, no, you shouldn't have.
Yeah, I mean.
That's my favorite.
There's a lot that people don't know. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of time. It's the same as any other job where there's stressors and parts you love, parts you don't love, and I think
do a great job.
People think it's all just rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah. We've got a lot more of these questions, so I think we can keep doing those.
Just a couple at the end of each.
I think so.
Cool. Okay. Well, we will see you next week with Jacqueline Sherratt. It's going to be a good one.
Wow. 2 girls, no guys.
Yep. TJ got kicked out.
All right.
Bye.